hints and tips. So I had a request about tension in the wrists when you start doing your yoga practice. Initially, your sort of beginner's practice, you might not do as many like vinyasa, up dog and down dog and things like this, and planks and things like this. So what happens is you sort of get this experience of like, my wrists are really, finding it hard. I found this hard because I broke both wrists one time in a bike accident, in a racing accident. So this sort of turning back up of the wrist like this, sort of the opening up, that took a long time for it actually to do. And it will do it unless there's something like you've broken in that wrist and it's actually, where it's healed is preventing it moving any further, then that's a slightly different issue. And it's like, in the end, you kind of feel like, T-Rex arms by the end of your practice. You're like, oh, I love the practice, but I can't move my hands. I'll give you some little counter poses that you can do that will just free off that again and just open up the energy up and down. I mean, they're quite intense, some of them, so that means you can't really go forcing them. You've really got to feel it, because the reason why you're feeling a little bit of discomfort in here is because, the tendons and things are trying to open up and stretch to this new thing that you're asking them to do. Okay, so the first one is pretty simple. And if you get a point where the teacher's talking in the class maybe and you're sat and you're listening, you can kind of do this while they're doing it and give your wrists a little bit of a rest as you go. So we're going to start with the hands in prayer at the heart space like this. And then we're going to bring the fingertips together and then bring the back of the hands together. So your focus really is you're trying to push the wrists together, not the hands. So if you push the wrists together, the hands will be together anyway. So push the wrists together and then try and draw the shoulders and the elbows down towards the floor, and you'll start to feel that stretch through the back of the hand there. And then see if you can bring the fingertips and point them in towards the chest. But again, remember, you're pushing the wrists together. So you can see how much of a counter it is to the hand being in the opposite direction. And then see if you can bring the hands into the heart space like this. Maybe draw the shoulders down. And then we come back to the center and then back down. And then see if you can turn the fingers forward like this. Ooh, okay, then bring the hands around together, link the fingers together and just make circles through the wrist. So pretty intense, but you can feel how it relieves all this tension in the back when you've been pushing and pushing and pushing so hard. Because if these get weak in your practice then the whole practice is likely to be affected by, so you need to sort of, until they start to build up, think about maybe dropping your knees sometimes in plank and just take some of the weight out of the hands and things like that. I did this all myself. Remember, you've got to build up to do these things. So the other one this is intense, so I shall show you from the side. We're going to take the hands down, so you're on all fours, and then see if you can turn that hand around and turn it over and bring your left hand down and just place it on top. That's basically just stabilizing that hand so it doesn't sort of twist around. And then you want to try and straighten the arm as much as you can. And if you can straighten the arm, then this shoulder, see if you can draw it back down towards your waist. So every little movement there, you'll feel this. It's a huge stretch right the way up the back of you. This is a great one for if you ride motorcycles and if you get that arm pump. Do this in the back of the van. Awesome for the next race. I mean, it's intense. It can feel like fire down the back of here. But you're trying to straighten that arm and draw that shoulder down the back. And then the last one would be to try and turn this elbow around so it faces the back of the mat. So you're twisting like this. So the elbow now is facing backwards. And then again, try and draw that shoulder back. and then bring that hand over and place it down and just push into that hand, and then release and make a few circles through the wrist just to get the energy moving again. And then we'll do that on the left. So left hand over, turn it over, palm onto the top, and then try and straighten that left arm. Giving my racing tips away. So yeah, this is great for arm pump, which you know you get a lot on any racing bike, whether it be on dirt or whether it be a road bike. Once this happens and you get you know, an arm pump in here, then the hand doesn't work. You have to slow down to the level of your grip. So you're drawing that in, and then try and draw that left shoulder down towards the waist, and then try and turn that left elbow around to face the back, and again draw that shoulder down towards the waist, and then release, turn the hand over and push down into that hand, and then come up, bring the hands together and make some circles through the wrist, and then shake them out. So even now that feels intense, you know, what you've just done. It's like, oh my God, is that worse than what I was just doing? But what it's doing, it's balancing out. So it will really help you, and it opens up that energy again. And you just want to try and loosen your wrists a little bit, maybe massage into the bones, just in between the knuckles of the wrist here, like this, and just free them up. So if you're feeling tension in your practice, anywhere in your practice, you want to think about, well, how can I direct some sort of love and attention to that space? So if you stop for a little while, say, okay, wrists, I recognize, thank you for your message. Give them a little love, and then the next thing is you're back along on your practice. So there's just a couple of little wrist openers that you can do that can help you when you're feeling that tension, when when you're first doing, or even if you're not first doing, but you're doing lots of planks, down dogs, side planks, them sort of things. These are good to do after your practice, or even before your practice, to get your wrists warmed up and ready for the practice that's going to come along. So if you need any more little hints and tips about anything, drop it in the comments, and thanks for all your likes, your subscribes, and if you want notifications, the little bell. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon with another video. Namaste. Okay. Keep smiling. Yeah. Well, we took all the chances and danced all the